I'm going to start pretty soon. I'm looking for, there should be a way for me to do a poll on here, but I'm not really seeing that option. So I'm going to wait for a few people to get on here, and in the meantime, I'm going to read up on how do I can I set it up once I'm inside of YouTube? There it is, start a poll. Okay. What kind of, okay. Oh, hey, I see a bunch of people came on here. Let me show you what I'm working on here. I'm hoping to get a poll started. So I'm doing infinite zoom art, and this is the one I'm working on right now. So what you see here, this is me when I was a little kid right here. But here I'm in this family of 7 brothers and my parents. And we lived on a farm. We lived in a house like that. I'm not done with this tree or the cornfield behind it. But there was our house. And then here is the tobacco shed. And I just started to draw the tobacco in there on laths. And then if you go in here, you can see I'm working, stripping the tobacco, and then the tobacco goes in piles. There's a little door into this room where we would work on the tobacco. It's just something that we did when back in the 60s and the 60s when I was a kid. It was sort of before, it was at the beginning of when they found out tobacco was really bad for you. We just thought it was a good crop to grow at the time, not really realizing. So here's a horse grazing in a field. We had horses. That horse is looking at me sitting on the fence. I loved horses. I was crazy for them. And this was a machine shed where the other side had doors in it and you could park things in there. Here is the sign. Here's our mailbox. And then this was the sign that was on it. It was Charles Bates and Sons, which is ironic because he also had a daughter, but it wasn't mentioned. I might have to do this. Okay, here we go. I am working on my Zoom art as well as trying to set a poll up. I'm going to add another option here. So I'm going to ask for what kind of Zoom art do you want? And I just have to get the words in here. It's weird, they don't let you set this up before you come on live. So you have to like make this poll. Oh, so this one, cosmic. And then this one, so it was cosmic. I want you to choose between nature, animals, history, or cosmic art. Okay, done. Start the poll. Okay, so if you're on here, I just started a poll. Hi, Mrs. Ballers 907. Hello, Brittany. Hi. Sorry, I've had a lot going on here and I wasn't able to say hello to people. I'm so glad you stopped by. Oh, somebody voted for nature. Right on. So that's what the question is. And I'm just going to keep zooming around here. I wonder if I can move this. I don't want to trash it. I just want to move it so I can zoom around and show you my art. No, I don't want to end the poll yet. So I'm just going to leave that poll up there. So far, people like nature. If anybody is kind enough to tell me what I'm seeing on my screen is different, it might be different than what you're seeing on your screen. So right now there's a drawing, I'm moving in and out, but in the front of it is a big box that's got the poll on it. Is it blocking the drawing or is it small? Can you tell me what you see? Mrs. Ballers 907, you retracted your message. Oh, I see, you voted instead. Ooh, we've got a vote for history. Right on. Okay, let me show you a little bit about this drawing that I'm working on. This is when I was a kid. There's me sitting on a fence. That's my horse. This was the machine shed. We had this really old International Harvester truck on the, and this was called a corn crib, this thing right here. I don't know if you can see it with the pole in the way. So, oh, I see some people voting. History is beating out nature. So, okay, so I haven't finished the fence. This was called the milk house. There was a bunch of equipment inside for storing the milk. We had dairy cows, and I'm going to draw an entire herd of dairy cows here. Right now I've just got 4, so I have a long way to go on that. I love the thumbs up, thank you. Don't forget, if you're here, I would love to hear, oh wow, we've got a vote for animals. Mrs. Ballers 907, so I'm hearing dang from you, what's wrong? So what else can I show you here? Oh, here's a little tree down here. This was the walnut tree, and you see I drew some little walnuts that had fallen on the ground. And then don't forget, if you just joined me, to tell me your vote in my poll. There's a poll. What kind of art for Zoom? Do you want cosmic art, history, nature, or animals? And so, oh, right here. Okay, so you'd come in the driveway here, lots of places to park, and then you could drive down here, or you could just, we called this the sand hill right here behind the barn. You could walk out there and we would dig in the sand for arrowheads, because this area had tribal people on it long before we ever lived there, but there was some there was some artifacts left behind. And then I would ride my horse down here and open this gate and go over here. This is also where we'd let the cows down. And then I would ride along the edge of this fence. There was a big mud patch here, and it was often there. And what happened when I was first riding my horse is he was young and green, and he jumped over the mud patch, and I went flying off the back of him, and I landed in the ground, and I busted my arm. So I'm gonna draw that eventually. I just haven't done that yet. So then you could go a little further down this lane. We called it the lane. And there was a culvert with a little bit of water going through it. And we could hunt for crayfish in that creek. We could catch them. And occasionally we would always let them go. We would just, like we were kids, we would keep them captive for about 2 hours, and then we would let them go. Hopefully, looking back on it, we did not stress them too much. So you could follow this lane, and it got muddier and muddier, and you have to go through a ditch here. And I haven't drawn it yet, but right here is going to be what we call the bee tree. So I've got to do that. If you just join me, don't forget to vote in the poll. Do we want what kind of Zoom art do you want to see? Cosmic, history, nature, or animals? Please cast your vote because it will affect what I draw in the future. So at the back of our farm, my mom was very industrious, and she created a campground. And, oh, I don't want to leave the farm yet. Hold on. We did have some fun stuff on the farm. It wasn't all work. So we had this, we called it was the rec room. It was originally the granary, but we used to play pool in there. And then I remember there was like a train set up in the corner. I never played with it, so I barely remember what that looks like. Let's see, what else can I show you? Oh, so here's an owl up in the top of the mow. This has happened to me twice in my life, and this is like not the greatest story, but this is what the story is. I would be in the mow because I was in the barn because there was like some social thing going on. It wasn't working or anything. Both times that this happened. When I was a kid, we were up there swinging. We would swing on this rope and land in some hay. It was really fun. And so I was waiting in line, and all of a sudden I felt this funny thing on my head. And I reached up and I realized that the top of my head was wet. And it was because, like, this owl here went poo-poo. And then it happened to me again when I was a grown-up. So that was really weird that it happened to me twice. Okay, so where was I? I was taking you over here to this campground. So this campground, my mom was very industrious. She was kind of an entrepreneur. And this was all kind of like what we called a wildlife refuge over here. It was undeveloped. And so my mom put a pond in here, and then she rented it out to people to camp. And so they would come to our farm and camp on the back acreage. It was really pretty cool. And so that was all way back. And I'm going to make like a whole story that goes with this. I'll talk about the farm, and then my friends and I rode our horses all the way across the highway over here to this house. And all I remember is that there was a pool in the backyard, above ground pool, and we couldn't swim because we had to hold our horses. They didn't have a place for our horses to go. And we didn't want our horses to run away. So that's that story. So if you just join me, don't forget to vote in the poll. What kind of Zoom art do you want to see drawn? I'm going to take you on a little tour of a couple of my other Zoom arts. If you know Nathan Apollo, he's a singer, kind of a poet singer, and he did a series of songs about eye color. And I'm going to show you. I did three eye color ballads with him, with his words in the background. So here we have green. This was the first one I ever did, and it's really quite simple, and it doesn't go very far into my zooming. I'm going to move this up here. I'm not sure you can see it with the pole. I think I might close the pole in case. Can anybody tell me if you can see, is the pole blocking the screen? If you're on here and you're willing to write a comment, tell me if the pole is blocking the screen. I can't tell. So this one ends here. We go into the eye and we say, hello, you amazing person. So I'm going to go out again to another one. Let me do another eye ballad. I have to find all the eye ballads. Where are they? Here's another one. So you are amazing. And this is for the blue eyes. So these are, you can look these up on YouTube. There's all sorts of people who have done things to, and he does a performance to his own poetry, of course. His name is Nathan Apollo. You should look him up. He does the eye ballads, and he talks all about how beautiful blue eyes are, how beautiful green eyes are, brown eyes. He does all the colors. So this is my infinite zoom for the blue eyes. And okay, I think what's winning in the poll is history. Ooh, we just got I think we might have just got another vote for something else though, because the percentage changed. Okay, so this takes us out to the blue eyes, to the beginning of the blue eyes. So let me go and show you the brown eyes. Where's the brown eyes? I think it's here. Yeah, here's the brown eyes. Brown like autumn leaves. Brown like rich coffee with cream. Ooh, we got another vote. What's winning? History is still winning. Right on. We got a bunch of intellectuals on here. Okay, so we've got topaz. We've got the color of earth because everything grows from the earth, which we show again here with the little seedling growing. Color of dirt. And then we come out to this character, this handsome young man playing basketball. And we are out to the beginning of that infinite zoom drawing. So nature. So where we're at right now, cosmic has 25% of the vote. History has 38% of the vote. Nature has 25% of the vote, and animals has 12. Oh wow. So history's winning, and then nature and cosmic are tied for second. That is really good for me to know. I tend to draw animals more than anything else, but I'm noticing people prefer other things. So if you prefer history, I have a one that I did on history. It's right here. I started in the Neolithic period, and I was just doing the history of clothing. And so we start with the Neolithic period. We move into the Minoan Bronze Age, and you will notice my character is not quite bare-breasted. She would have been but I try to keep it family friendly. And so she's wearing a lot of bronze. And then we're going to move in to actually my favorite drawing in the whole history of clothing is Egyptian. And then we're going to move in here to some Greek pottery. And I think this is Artemis. I think this hawk is a symbol of a god named Artemis. And we're just going to zoom right on into. I've mashed a couple eras together here. This is a Nordic myth that I'm illustrating with Freya, but I've done it in a Celtic art style. And I'm not done with these. I'm still working on them. My infinite zooms are like, they're like therapy, and I strongly recommend anybody who draws take up infinite zoom drawing. It's like meditation because you can never finish and you get sidetracked really easy. I think that's pretty apt description. So if you haven't voted, ooh, we've got 10 votes. So we've got Cosmic Cosmic has just tied with History. Nature's moving up. Animals, wow, now Animals, History, and Cosmic are, oh my gosh, this is so exciting to watch. History is actually like losing ground now. It was leading before. Well, I love it. I love hearing the responses. Rosalinda Alve, Rosilda. Hi, Rosilda. Hey, can you tell me if the poll chat is blocking the middle of the picture? Just say yes if it's blocking the middle of the picture. And if it's not blocking, that's great, but I worry about it. So where was I? Going back out here, I forgot to tell you what this one is. This one is a Mayan dignitary. Have not done any color on her yet. And then I'm moving into the Tang Dynasty, which is in China. And it is very interesting to note that in the Tang Dynasty, women were seen riding horses all the time. It was very common, and they did not ride side saddle. That was something that came later that to me is super silly. And then we go into the horse's eye here. And we're going to go into the Gandhara region of the 1st century, and I am working on drawing a woman in a sari. And that's where I've ended this one so far. I'm going to keep going. I have lots more history of fashion to do, and I'm actually really enjoying that drawing. So let's see. Wow, we're up to 13 votes. That's fabulous. So what's winning? Ooh, we got a tie between Cosmic and History. I love it. We've got some really heady people out there. Okay, I've got some more infinite zooms I can show you. If you just joined, don't forget to check the poll and vote for what kind of art you would like to see. Cosmic, History, Nature, or Animals. All right, if you just joined, don't forget to put a vote in. What kind of art do you want to see in these infinite zooms? Do you want to see history, nature, cosmic, or animals? So far, we've got a tie between cosmic and history. So if you don't like those, put in a vote and see if we can change the most popular. So let me see here. I've got a couple more zooms I can show you. How about we go into the alphabet zoom? This one is going to be for kids, obviously. I'm going to do a little alphabet book. So I'm just going to go in here to the next one, and it's a B for, we've got a boat, and we've got a bird, and a bear, and a banana. We had some bubbles too, I forgot to mention that. We go way in here to see the next one. We've got clouds and a clock, and we've got some cactus, and we've got a cat. And we're going to move on in to the D page, and we're going to see some deer and some dandelions and a donkey. So far, I think that's, oh, and a duck. I added the duck. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't voted already, I am still leaving the poll open. You can vote for what kind of art you would like to see in these infinite zoom drawings that I do. Cosmic, history, nature, or animals are the choices. And so far we've got a tie between cosmic and history. So if you want to put your opinion in there, just look for the... Rosilda, are you still here? Just saying hi. Put your opinion in by voting in the poll. Okay, so we're at E. We've got some eggs in the corner and an earring and an eye and an elephant. And we're going to move into F. We've got some flowers in the corner and we got a little froggy and a fairy who is interacting with a fox. And then I have to remember where to go in here. Here we go. So here we're going to go to G. And so far, I've got quite a bit going on in the G. I have a guitar, a goat, a goose, and a giraffe. And I don't think, I have not done the next letter. I am only, I'm ready to do the next letter. I've got H roughed out, but I don't have anything figured out. If you want to see something in particular on H, go ahead and leave that in the comments. And it would be an animal or a plant that starts with H. That's what I'm looking for in the comments. It has been so nice to have so many people come on here tonight. I really, really appreciate the views. I'm going to end the poll here in just a couple minutes. So if you haven't gotten your vote in and you want to vote about what kind of art you would like to see, cosmic, historical, nature, or animals, and let me know by adding your vote. Oh, I see another vote just came in. And what's winning? Oh, cosmic is in the lead. That is super cool. Well, let me take you to my cosmic. I have a cosmic piece. So I haven't shown it to you yet. Let me take you there. I have to get all the way out here. And we're just about there because here is the alligator on the apple with the axolotl in the water. And we're going to go home here and find the next. Here's the cosmic that I have so far. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the origin, which this is not actually the origin. Okay. So here is the cosmic drawing. Ooh, cosmic is up to 36% in the votes. Okay, cosmic is winning. So this, if I was going to draw a cosmic drawing, I would draw something like this one. I consider this a cosmic drawing. It started out as a fashion drawing, but it soon changed. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about consciousness. And you can see the messages. You have the key. Here was where my fashion drawing was. Very beautiful kind of Art Deco woman. But it didn't stay there. Oh, what does it say above her? Hold on, there was a message. Your body is the portal. Ooh, we got 15 votes. Cosmic is still in the lead, but I think history just came up a little bit. So history is in second. Nature and animals is in third. They're tied for third. Okay, so we're moving in here. Your body is a portal to your inner spirit. And here we are. So this little boy is growing a seedling, And we've got we've got the sunshine and the wind and the rain and the flowers growing all around him. And that takes us to our place finally of wonder. Wonder in the cosmos. How can you touch the cosmos is where this one ends. So I've got a lot of people who have said hi. I want to say hi back to Rosilda, Mrs. Ballers 907, Brittany Cole. Hello to all of you. Okay, we're just about out. We're gonna go out to the fashionista, who takes us to the door, which is the journey. And so I think I've got 15 votes. I think I want to go to 20 votes, and then I'll probably close the poll. So I've got 15 votes. Cosmic is in the lead. What kind of art for Zoom do you want to see? Cosmic art, historical art, nature, or animals? Not that nature and animals aren't the same in a way, but specifically nature would be forests, flowers, that kind of thing. Okay, let me take you out to, I'm going to find another Zoom. Now here's a Zoom that I did with JPEGs of my drawings. And I don't know if this is the beginning. Yeah, this is the beginning, I believe. Let me see, maybe not. No, it's not the beginning. That's the beginning right there. So we start with this drawing, and we move in to the Egyptian eye, to the next drawing of a stag. To the cowgirl who's got a ladybug on her head, who has a goat on his back, who has, okay, where do we go after the goat? Oh, over here on the flower, who has a woman on the flower. If you haven't voted, please let me know, what do you want to see in Zoom art? Cosmic, history, nature, or animals? I've got a poll going that you can vote in, and it will change what I draw in the future based on what your opinion is. I want to hear from you in my poll. Even if you just stop by and you don't even know who I am, I still want to hear from you. What kind of art for Zoom do you want to see? And then we're going to, I'm having a hard time remembering where to zoom in on this one. And so we've got this angel, and then we've got rewrite the story. And we go in one more time to the original owl that we saw at the beginning. So that one can actually wrap around. So we're going to move out of this drawing. I think I've got one more I can show you. And again, this one, I drew all of these in a different program, and then I turned them into photos, JPEGs, and then I just uploaded them into this program. So I can't do all of, so see how this has got like nice shading of, or, you know, modeling of the brush strokes? That's done in Adobe Fresco. So you have to have a more sophisticated drawing program than this one. This Zoom art program is very basic. It's more like drawing with a magic marker. And where are we on our votes? We're at 15 and holding. And that's it. Whoa, I better find out where's the origin. There we go. Okay, Thanks for joining me. I'm just going through and showing people my Zoom art. If you haven't seen me before, I do a lot of different types of art, but Zoom art is what I've been doing most recently. So we've gone through all of those. Oh, we haven't done this the flowers. So this one I combined photographs with drawing, and I think it turned out okay. It was just kind of an experiment. I probably won't do a whole lot more with photographs and drawing. And so that brings us out to the beginning. Kind of zoom in again so you can see how I did that. Where do I go in here? Ooh, it's hard to find, but there it is. Sometimes it's really hard to find. All right, so we're gonna go out here. I might be coming to the end. I think there's one more that I haven't shown you. It's one of the first ones I did. So it's not that. Huh. This was a test, so I could learn how to use it. That's not it though. The one that I had, well, maybe it was in a different program and it wasn't on this program. Let's look at that one, start here. Nope, that was the one I just looked at. Okay, so I think that's it for these art. So if you just joined me, I'm going to show you the one that fits the cosmic definition, and cosmic is winning in my poll. If you would like to change that, please vote in my poll. I'm going to close it here in a minute and just get down to drawing. But I'll just take you through this one since this subject matter is what's winning in the poll. And here we go to the end of that. Okay, so our poll, I am going to end the poll. How do I drag here to end the poll? Okay, I'm going to take a quick screenshot just in case I lose that poll to remind me that Cosmic won. All right, we're ending that poll. It is over. All right, poll complete, 15 votes. And Cosmic won. Great, it went in the comments. Good to know. Thanks for stopping by. The poll is complete, but if you have an opinion about what you would like to see me draw on my Zoom art, you can see the poll in the comments. You get to choose between cosmic, history, nature, and animals. The poll's closed, but you can still leave a comment and let me know, because I'll end up figuring out what that would mean. So this one, I think I'm gonna do one back leg inside here. And we'll do one over here. You can barely see it behind there. And then, because cows are all about making milk, at least when I was growing up, they were. Thanks for stopping by. So I've done almost all of these the same, because I was looking at never really paid attention when I was a kid to what our cows looked like how did the spots actually look, but a lot of times they'll have these dark patches around their eyes when I look at photographs now of cows. Okay, I'll look and see how I've been doing the other ones. Kind of random. Perfect. Random it is. I want to make my noses consistent, so they're kind of like a little bit like a C shape. Put a little reflection shine in their eyes, because that's always fun. I think I'm going to finish this last cow and call it a night. I feel like that cow, something's not quite right with that cow. I don't think its belly has to be that big. We can have, they have like these prominent hip bones that stick out. Which lead to their back legs. I'm going to bring this down a little bit farther. Oops. Thanks for stopping by. We've moved into the quiet mode of this drawing, live drawing. We had a lively poll going earlier. I think our head's a little too tall. I'll have to fix that. Excuse me for a minute. I had a mouse move in with me day before yesterday, and I just saw him running across the floor. And I'm not really interested in living with a mouse. If I can encourage him to leave, I will. But so far, I don't know how to get him out. Okay, I think that is going to conclude my Zoom for the night. Thank you everybody for stopping by, and I will see you on the next one. Have a wonderful evening.